Hi, everyone. My name is Shawneen Brady. I'm a youth librarian at the Crystal Lake Public Library.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dawn Dvorak, and I am also a youth librarian at the Crystal Lake Public Library.
And I am Ashley Tomini, another youth librarian at the Crystal Lake Public Library, and we are excited to bring you our Library Tools for Back to School program. And this is to let families and students know what we might have to help you this year that you may not have been aware of, or maybe you forgot. And now this is one spot where you can see everything that we have.
I'm going to show you some tools that you can use to help with homework. Sometimes you need help with your homework and maybe mom or dad is busy. So I'm going to show you a great tool that you can use every day if you so choose. So you start out by going to our library page. This is the Crystal Lake Public Library. So you type in clpl.org and this will get you there. And then, okay, so I go to kids, I scroll down to research. And once I'm on research, I scroll down and after these cute kids, I see Help Now. And that is what I'm going to show you today. Help Now is live one-on-one homework help, test prep, tutoring, and a writing lab. Spanish language help is also available. There is a tutorial here that you can use if you forget what I've said, which is perfectly fine, but there are tutors available to you. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on that and you'll see what you get here. And if you are going to need help where they're going to need to contact you back, you're going to need to create a login. So it would be, they really just need an email to send something back to you, which is perfectly fine. But of course, do that with your big person at home. So they have great features on here. There's live tutoring. So that's available right now because it's past 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I would go ahead and click my grade and what subject I'm having trouble with. So if I'm having trouble with, I'm in 4th grade and I'm having trouble with science, I could get live help right now. I could go ahead and ask the tutor to help me with whatever I'm having trouble with on my science homework. If I'm a Spanish speaker, I could go ahead and get a tutor that's going to help me in Spanish. So I could communicate with them that way. If I am doing some writing, I can ask them to look at a paper that I'm working on. And they do need some time to do it. So it would take about 24 hours for them to get back to me. But if I want them to look over for grammar or for all the other things that they might want to look for, I could do that. Now, one of the things I really love the best about homework help is the skill server. So if I needed help, if I am in 4th grade, I would go to upper elementary school and I can see all the different things that they have resources to help me with. So I'll tell you, math was always a weak area for me. So I'm going to go ahead and click grade 4 math. And they have all kinds of practice tests. So if I want to get ahead in math, I can go ahead and do that. I can check to see if I know something well enough. There's operations, there's numbers. Well, I'll show you, fractions are always a problem for me. So I would go ahead and click on fractions. So if I wanted to create equivalent fractions by multiplying and dividing, and I have forgotten what my teacher has told me as far as the steps go, which that has happened. So this will go ahead and tell me the steps that I need to do this. And they make it very simple for me. So they're going through all that. And then they're going to tell me exactly what I need to do. And I could practice down here. And so it's going to tell me if I'm right or wrong. So it's a really great resource. And again, if I have any trouble with any of this along the way, at the top, they have send a question, or I could get live help. So if I didn't know how to answer one of those questions, I could get live help right now. So it's really wonderful. I can go ahead and go back to where I was. So I'm going to go back to grade 4 math. So they really a lot of subjects. Occasionally they have a video that will go through exactly how to do that step. So it's really a nice service. I can send the Help Now crew a question, but again, they do need some time to answer it. And they also always have a featured service, and I can get some live chess tutoring, and they have it available every day, Monday through Thursday from 3 to 9 p.m. So if I want to learn how to play chess, then I can do it that way too. So once again, you may not need this every day, but occasionally when you're doing homework and you forget what the teacher has said, or if you're a parent that's trying to help your student and you're like, I don't know, you can go here. And it goes through everything that your child may need. And it actually has help for high school, for middle school. So this is a tool that will grow with you, that you can always use.
Very good. Thank you so much, Ms. Shanine, for sharing Help Now, a homework help tool for kids and maybe their families that might need help helping their students. All right. So now, in addition to all the wonderful things that we have, like our regular books in the library, we also have some good tools for you to use if you needed to do like a research assignment to find more information. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Okay, so there are different ways that we can get information when we're looking for it. And one might be from a book. You could come into the library, you could use your school library, your library at home. So if I was looking up information on axolotls, I could use this nonfiction book, Cute as an Axolotl, and I could find some information about that. I could feel good about it because I know that the publishing company that put out the book has made good decisions to work with an author who's either really good at researching or is maybe an expert on this, and they will have, worked with the author to make sure that they're credible and reliable. And then the publisher also has a process that they go through of fact checking and making sure that the information is true. And then they also want to make sure that the information is arranged and makes sense. And in this case, it makes sense for kids. So I can feel good about the book that I check out and I get the information from. But you might not always have access to your library, and you still might want to know something, or you need it for your homework. And then, you might have a computer or a smartphone or a tablet at your home. And so you might want to look up information online, through Google. And so if I type in some results, or if I type in axolotls and I get lots and lots of results in my Google search, and I still feel like I'm really good and critical at evaluating those search results, and I feel like I pick a good article on axolotls, and I'm showing this article from National Geographic on axolotls, and I feel really good about it, but I notice, a couple of things just while looking at it before reading the information. In the upper right-hand corner, it says subscribe. And in the lower left-hand corner, it says you have 3 free articles left this month. Subscribe now and get a free tote. So that tells me that they, want me to pay the money eventually, and I may not always be able to get access to this or other articles from National Geographic. And then I also see this information about mattresses that has nothing to do with axolotls. And I noticed that there's an advertisement. So they're giving me this information for free, but for now they want me to subscribe, and they're allowing other companies to advertise. So the information might be good. There's just other things in there, that makes me think about how I'm getting this information. All right. But I think what we have available from the library is sort of the best of both worlds. The book and the online access. And this is an article about axolotls from one of our resources, Scholastic Go. And this Scholastic Go tool searches many different encyclopedias, and these are put together and they go through the same publishing process that a book does, just the information's presented online. So I know that that publisher wants to make sure that the authors, the people who wrote this information, are credible, reliable, that they have arranged the information in a way that makes sense to kids, and that they have fact checked it. So I can still get to it anytime with my Crystal Lake Public Library card, from my home. And so we feel like this is a great way to get information that you may or may not know about. And we want to show you more of these types of tools. So Miss Dawn is going to show you our next tool, Pebble Go next.
Okay, so I'm going to teach you a little bit about Pebble Go next, which is a great encyclopedia source for our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. If you've used Pebble Go before, Pebble Go next is the next step up. So everything is just, the sentences are a little longer, the information is a little longer, a little more complicated, vocabulary used is a little harder. And you get to it in the same way. You're going to go to kids and then down to research. And then you will scroll down here and click on Pebble Go next. So it is actually going to take us to the Pebble Go page, and then we can just click over here on this purple tab that links to Pebble Go next. And there we go. So Pebble Go next is a visual encyclopedia, and you navigate by clicking through the pictures that you see. So for example, if I wanted to learn a little bit about our fine state of Illinois, you can click on states and then the Midwest, and then it'll take us to Illinois. And this is the actual article that we have about Illinois. All the information in Pebble Go next can be read aloud to you. All you have to do is click on this little yellow button here.
Illinois is one of the nation's Midwestern states.
I always find it useful, especially with pronunciation. So if there's a word in here that I don't know how to pronounce, having it read aloud can help with that. It also can just help with retaining the information to be reading it while you're listening to it. Another great feature is, as you can see, as I go through, every single one of the words underlines as I go over it. And that's because if there's a word that you don't understand, you can click on it. It'll take you right to a dictionary definition of it. For example, if I didn't know what the word shore meant, you can click right here and it will give you a definition of what a shore is: the land along the edge of a body of water. Okay, so you can navigate this by either clicking through on the tabs, or you can just scroll down and get through all of the information in the articles. And each article has the same information on it. So for example, every single state has information on the location, geography and weather, history and government, etc. There's also some fun fast facts that will tell you just the basic details about the state. So that's always fun to read through. And then over here, the very last one, related articles. They are going to link you to other articles within Pebble Go next. So you never have to worry about the site sending you on to other sites that may have more questionable information. It's always going to link back to other Pebble Go next articles. So down here at the bottom, there's a bunch of additional information that can be helpful. If your children are writing research papers, for example, and they need to be citing their sources in a works cited or bibliography, you can click here on Cite, and it brings up the three main citations that you can use: the APA, MLA, and Chicago. And then you can just copy these and it gives you the correct format. So that is a great feature. There's also an activity. You can print them out as PDF for the states. They have a flag, a map of the state, and then some critical thinking questions that you can answer based on the article. And then some of them have both videos and even they have the state song, which is pretty cool that you can listen to. There's a recipe that's popular in the state. And like I said, every state has this. And then there's just another dictionary entry. So if you wanted to look up a word, you could do that as well. So up here, we have what's called breadcrumbs, and that shows us how we got to this site. Instead of using like the back in your browser, you would click through to
States.
Here. And you can click back
Home.
here on home or to states or to the Midwest, and you can revisit those pages. So I'm going to click back on states. Down here, there's a link to games. So there's like matching games and some puzzles and other games that you can explore the content that you've learned about. And they're going to be specific to whichever like module you're in. So these games will all be about states because right now I'm in the states part. There's also a question of the day. So it says, choose the most unique state symbol. And I'm going to choose the dog mushing for Alaska and vote. And it'll tell me what other people thought who voted on it. So it looks like 67% of people agreed that it's dog mushing is the most unique state symbol. So that's just a fun thing to learn. And like I said, it changes every day. So every time you come into Pebble Go next, it'll be different. There's also this randomizer feature. So if you click up here, it'll just take you to a random article. So it took me to New Mexico. We'll click again. Arkansas, Utah. So you can just learn about anything through the randomizer. It's pretty cool. So one of the problems with Pebble Go Next is that it can be a little bit difficult to navigate. You do have to spend some time with it to know exactly where to click. So for example, if I wanted to learn a little bit about like the Algonquin Indians, I know I'd come here to American Indian history, but then if I'm not quite sure where their region is, I might have to click on a few different things. So they're not part of the Great Plains. Let's see, are they part of the Northeast? Okay, they're part of the Northeast. So you might have to click around a few times to do that. You could also type up in this box and that would take you right to the article, but you do need to be able to spell it completely correct. So if I can't remember how to spell Algonquin, it's going to tell me unable to find, and it's not going to give me any other suggestions. So that can be a problem. And also, if you're going to use the search box, it will only bring you to articles like the title of the article. So for example, I know a lot of Native American tribes were nomadics, but if I type in nomad, it's not going to be able to find anything, even though I know some of these articles have mentioned the word nomad. They're only pulling from the titles of the articles. In addition, similar to Pebble Go, there is only information on these 4 topics. So there's only information on states, science, American Indian history, and social studies. So if you're looking for information on famous people, you're not going to find a lot in here. Only some historical figures are included, but anyone current, like popular actors or musicians, they're not going to be included in Pebble Go Next.
Going to show you Scholastic Go. You will get there as a reminder. Go to our website, clpl.org. Hover over Kids and then click on Research. Then scroll down, and this time I'm going to click on Scholastic Go. As a reminder, there's always tutorials for more information on using these resources. And this is the home screen for Scholastic Go. And you can see it looks much different than Pebble Go or Pebble Go Next. And it has a big, cool image here in the background and a simple search box. If you're ever curious what the image is, you can always click on what is this image. It will give you some information. This is about coral reefs. You can also click here to get more on the article or watch a video. And these change from time to time, so that's always fun to see what they have next. So up here in the top, they have something called GoTube videos, and these are just different videos on different topics that you could go into and watch. There's also links to newspapers around the world under World News, so you could go in and look around there. Under Atlas, there is a US map, and then there are different world atlases that you can click through. Going back to the home screen, if I wanted to do a search, I would just type in a simple keyword search like I might do, in a Google box. And we are going to look for information on hummingbirds. And here's my results page. So as a reminder, Scholastic Go is searching several different types of encyclopedias. So it's giving me lots of different information. Right here tells me I have 9 images on hummingbirds. I could look at them all if I wanted to. I could see, where they got that. And then to navigate, I would just use my browser's back button to go back through. I can see for articles, I can get 45 articles, and then they're going to list them here. There's going to be the title, the resource that it came from, and a little bit from that article. Now I could limit or refine by the suggested reading level if I wanted to. So if I clicked on level 1, it's not going to give me a hummingbird article, and that's okay. I'm just going to go back to all. There's a 4, which is, you know, grades 11 and up. There's a 2 on a moth, and then there's a 3 and a 2. It's okay if you go into an article that's above your reading level. There are the read aloud options in here that can help you with that. And there is still good information in here, so it's worth checking out. I'm going to go into this hummingbird article here from the New Book of Knowledge. And this is, I have a video and I have an image on the right-hand side. And then I have different information I can scroll through. I can also look at the table of contents and see the different headings. So maybe I really am just interested in the life of the hummingbird. I could click on that and I could learn a little bit more about that. Or you can just scroll through the article. To turn on the read aloud, it's over here. You click turn read aloud on, and then you would click in the article where you want it to read. So I'll click there, and then I'll click where I want it to read.
A tiny hummingbird hovers in front of a flower. Its wings are a blur of motion.
And that's how you can do the read aloud there. Again, if you were going to include information from this article in a research paper or project, you could, you know, copy the citation in here. You could write it down, or you could copy it and paste it. And that's going to show that I accessed this article called Hummingbird from Scholastic Go, the URL I used, and when I accessed that information. And I can do as many searches as I want. Maybe I'm interested in Illinois. So I'm going to type that keyword in. And you can see I have 21 images now. I have a lot more articles, 1,461, but that's still going to be a lot less than if I just did a Google search result. And again, I can feel good that the articles in here, you know, have been fact checked and they have good information that makes sense to kids. There are little sidebars and tables over here under more information. And then they do link out to websites if you are interested in learning more. But I would just let you know that the websites are just, you know, not created by Scholastic Go. It would be, hopefully it'll be a credible site, but you know, you can't guarantee that all the information is correct. So you could look around there if you wanted to. But really the best part, I think, are the images and articles for you to use for your assignments. And this article is from the New Book of Knowledge, and there's lots of images in here. And there's a lot more detailed information on Illinois than maybe we had from the Pebble Go Next article. And you can see all the different types of headings over here. If you are interested in finding some books, Ms. Shawnee is going to give you a tool that will make that easier.
Now to get to Novelist K-8+, which is what I'm going to show you, there's actually 2 different ways. So we've made it a little bit easier for you to find it. You can go under Kids and you can go to Books and Research, or Books and Reading, sorry, or you can go to Research. I'm going to go ahead and go to Research because that's where we found all those other things that we were showing you. And you scroll down again past Help Now. And here we have Novelist K-8+. And you see that there's also a tutorial here for you to use. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Now, again, this tool is going to help you figure out what you want to read next, or maybe just figure out what you want to read in general. So I'm going to go ahead and click on ages 0 to 8. And you can see over here, this is my favorite part of the tool to use over here. I can find out what I'm interested in. So I can go to fiction. Like I said, I can also go nonfiction. So if I wanted to find different about, let's say, I think it went off my age again. There he goes. If I wanted to find different things about animals, tails, animals. So do I want to know about facts? Sure, I like animal facts. I like to quiz my friends. So I'm going to click on that. And then I have some other books to choose from. Oh, you know what? I really love crocodiles. So I'm going to click on the crocodile book, Beware of the Crocodile. I'm going to click on my crocodile and put it in my folder. And then I'm going to check to see what I have in my folder. And I have Beware of the Crocodile. So I can go ahead and print out my list later on. If I want to come in and I want to ask Miss Dawn to help me find these books in the library, I could do that too. But really, I could put them on hold and just make it easier that way. So however I want to do it, I can. And now, for example, if I wanted to find a book that I know I loved, so I'm like, okay, I love Harry Potter, and my family loves Harry Potter, and I want to read a book like Harry Potter. I can go ahead and put Harry Potter in there. And all kinds of Harry Potter books will come up. And so if I want to read a book like Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, I can go ahead and click on that. But one of the coolest things is over here on this side, it has read-alikes. So if I want to have a book like very similar to Harry Potter, I can see what they've recommended for me. So also you can, as we said, you can look at, if you go to Harry Potter original series, we could click here, and then it's going to give me more books that I can choose from. Still thinking a lot. Let's see. All right. And so then I have other read-alikes I can choose from. So you see there's quite a few read-alikes that you can go to. And again, I can click on the Iron Trial. That's a good one. And once again, I can see if Crystal Lake has a copy. And I can, if I want to try that one, I can put that one on hold. So you see, it's just another tool to finding what to read next. So it's a lot of fun, and you can kind of see where it takes you. So, and I know many of you like Dogman. So let's put in Dogman and see what we get for him. Let's see. We'll put in Dogman and we'll do a search to see what other books we can read if we like Dogman. So we see we get all kinds of read-alikes over here. These look like some fun ones. And again, I can click on these and put them on hold, and they'll get them for me at the Crystal Lake Public Library. Too fun. Back to you, Ashley.
Very good. Thank you so much. And what's great in the read-alikes is they'll give you the reason why they think you might like it. So that's always fun to see what they come up with for that. I think Miss John is going to talk about some of the things that we do have in the physical library outside of books that you may or may not know that we have or may not have thought of using them for tools for school.
Yes. Well, the first thing I'm going to talk about actually is books. We have these great books that are called Wonder Books. So what's so great about a Wonder Book is it has a built-in speaker. So it will read the book out loud to you while you read along, and you don't have to mess with CDs or back in the old days cassette tapes or anything like that. It's just right on the book, and it's super easy to use. So we have them for picture books for readers like this. We even have them for chapter books. The chapter book example, Unicorn Rescue Society. It's a great series. It doesn't require any additional technology. There's also this great learning mode. So after you're done reading it, you can go to learning mode and it'll ask some questions based on the book. So it can help build reader comprehension. Even if they can read the book all by themselves, the reading comprehension is great. There's also a place where you can plug in headphones. So they can listen to it in the car or anywhere else without disturbing anyone. So this is great for kids who are struggling a little with reading because it helps them understand the words while they're reading along, or if they just want to listen to a good story. They're good for anything. Wonder Books, they're super popular, and they are a great special collection that we have at the library. We also have a world languages collection, if you didn't know. We have books in both Spanish and we have some books in Polish as well. This is a collection we're really trying to grow, so definitely come in and check out books if they interest you. And this is especially useful for those kids that are in the dual language program. They can be building their Spanish speaking skills as well as their Spanish reading skills as well as their English reading skills. We also have these great things called launch pads. If you haven't checked those out, they are these great tablets that are full of educational games and apps, and they're all centered around a specific theme. And they are targeted to specific age groups. So we have ones for 3 to 5 year olds, 5 to 7 year olds, and 8 to 10 year olds, and they will build your skills in whatever various areas. There's ones that target reading and science and math, etc. And they're a lot of fun too. A lot of them are learning disguised as games. So those are also super popular. Those check out a lot. And then finally, we have these great things called STEM kits. STEM kits have a STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, or math themed activity included in them, and they usually have a couple related books as well. They're all packaged together in one kit. They're either in a backpack or in like a container that you can take home. And we have 50 different themes like magnets and circuits, robots, simple machines, planets, building, coding, all those great STEM activities. So if your child is struggling with any one of these concepts, they can be super helpful. Having a hands-on activity can help with the learning process. Or if your kid is just really into any of those kinds of like coding or robots or anything like that, they can also they're just additional educational opportunity around STEM. So you can check those out from the library as well. So those are some of our great special collection, in addition to all of the books and things that we have that might be of interest to you to help your child this school year. And now we are going to Miss Ashley, and she's going to talk a little bit about our ebook resources.
Absolutely. So we do have our e-library that you can access, anytime on our website, clpl.org. And just if you click on e-library, and there are different services here, and there's a couple that I want to point out for you. This is Tumble Books. These are animated talking books that you can watch, and there are a lot of picture books, and they also have read-alongs. So these are like longer chapter books, similar to the Wonder Books. This is just on like your device, so they will read the story to you and you will have the text in front of you to flip through. There are some nonfiction titles. There's different videos, animals and nature, history. There is a language learning section with French and Spanish titles. And then there are some puzzles and games if you want to do that. But they're really fun, and they have them grouped into different areas. And we know a lot of patrons like this service too. So we wanted to let you know about Tumble Books. We also have our largest ebook and audio collection is our Overdrive collection. You can get through this from the website, or you can use the Libby app or the Sora app if you log in with your school credentials. And we're part of a group of libraries that shares resources. We all pull our money together. We're called the North Suburban Digital Consortium to give even more access to all of our patrons. I'm logged in. You may not realize, you may use this for yourself, but you may not realize that there's a kids and teen section. And there are all kinds of ebooks and audiobooks in here. You can go through and you can just browse by subjects. You can limit to ebooks or audiobooks. You can limit to type. Say I want to look at comics and graphic books. And I can see that there is pizza and taco, who's the best? And I can click on the cover and I can get some more information about it. I can read a sample, or I can borrow the ebook. And this is going to let you know what it looks like. If you haven't read Pizza and Taco, I recommend it. They are two best friends. I can go back into the subjects and I can just limit to audiobook, and I could just do juvenile fiction. I could browse through and see. And I can always listen to a sample of the audiobook. Maybe I really am particular about the narrators that I listen to, so I could listen to a sample before I borrow it. Now, these books, you have to borrow one copy at a time. So if I borrow this copy, then Miss Dawn couldn't check it out at the same time from North Suburban Digital Consortium. And so you can place things on hold, and you can get them when they're available there. I think that's all I want to say about that one. The next one is our eRead Illinois collection. It's a smaller collection of ebooks and audiobooks, and I'm already logged on. It does have kids' titles in here. You can go into browse by subject and go into juvenile fiction or juvenile nonfiction to browse what's in there. And then they're going to give me different options in here, or I can just scroll through and view them this way. Same thing with the Overdrive Collection. It's like a 1-to-1. So someone already has the Magic Tree House graphic novel checked out. So I would place a hold on it, and then it'll let me know when it's ready for checkout. So these books check out for 3 weeks, and they automatically get removed from your account after 3 weeks. You can always return them early, which is nice. And then the final service I want to mention is Hoopla. And you can get that with your library card number. And you have to create an account for it to remember your titles, what you have. What's great about this is you can turn the kids mode on, which is what I have on. So I'm not looking at all the other content in there. I'm just browsing, in the kids mode. So there's going to be popular ebooks. There's John Jory's The Good Egg. And I can read this. I can borrow it right now. I'm going to borrow it for 21 days. And if Miss Dawn wants to read it, she can borrow it today at the same time through Hoopla, because we have simultaneous access. So I'm getting a little red message at the bottom of the screen. It says that I've already borrowed my 6 titles for the month. Limit on each cardholder's account for 6 titles per month. But it's a great way to not wait for ebooks or audiobooks for kids, especially if you have an avid audiobook reader like I do, who doesn't want to wait. Those are some great tools for you. This might help with independent reading that they're doing at home. If you don't have a lot of things that are interesting for access, you can just jump on and use those materials, or again, come into the library or place some things on hold. We're happy to do that. And we wish you a wonderful 2021-2022 school year. Happy learning, and we hope to see you soon.